Greetings everyone, it's me again, Ashra from Bloodman Pictures, and today again an end of the month vlog. So last month I totally forgot to make a end of the month vlog, therefore you have the announcement vlog thing in between the last month. But yeah, let's keep it nice and clean. I mean, sure, by now you all know we now have a Tumblr account, and you can ask all our characters, including us as well, any question you actually want. Also, what I wanted to talk about is, and this will be the main part of the video, I noticed a lot of, well, thoughts about my characters and the characters of the troll call, and before we will meet certain characters in Hiveswap Rent Simulator, I wanted to talk about a few things. Most and foremost, my characters Tlaylock and Riggel, especially the connection between both of them, and Tlaylock as specific character. The moment I designed him, the main part, like everything you have seen in the Diaries of an Alternian short story thing, is basically the pre-story, the history behind those two characters. And yeah, since then, after that, I actually role-played out with friends and other people what Riggel lives through, what he goes through, all his path and stuff like that. And one important thing is, Tlaylock, at the end of Riggel's story, so to say, he's supposed to meet the character of Evelyn, whose name I won't say out loud yet. And in the very end there will be a big final clash of, yeah, big final, somewhat. And the design of Tlaylock is that he is a character, a purple blood obviously, with chuckle voodoo, and he did his very best to master the chuckle voodoos as good as he can, but he doesn't not rely on them. He kills trolls pretty regularly, and yeah, collects their bones and stuff like that. So the end of the story was supposed to explain that Tlaylock is actually almost old enough, like only a few days, weeks, whatever, away from being picked up from Alternia before he goes into exile into outer space from Alternia because of all the laws and stuff like that. And we didn't have much information about how all of that plays out until Hiveswap, but now we may even have the possibility to see that. So he's a pretty old troll for Alternian standards, and in the end of the story he will be picked up. He will be picked up into space and will be pretty mad about it. And yeah, that is basically where the main story is supposed to end. And funny is, there were two troll call characters who popped up, and I was like, well, that's like a Durst, what's the other called? A Durst Prospect swap and gender swap of Tlaylock and Riggel a little bit. And they even showed up in the same troll call. I will place them on the screen somewhere, so you know which trolls I talk about, because I can't remember on top of my head the names. And I made the tests and everything, and Tlaylock is actually 100% Lord of Rage after like various tests I made. All of them pointed the same direction. Lord of Rage. And I was what? Yeah, basically pretty surprised about how I designed that character to be a lot of rage. And I noticed, like, those troll call trolls who came into existence like 3 years about-ish after I designed Tlaloc and Riggel. I was like, okay, just to be sure, just to be fair, just to have like some sort of proof, I will make this video in order to show everyone, well, actually, this is how my characters were, how I designed them. And all future connections, all future similarities to Hiveswap things that happen will be pure chance, which I'm actually pretty excited about. So, Tlaloc is a really old troll, like, he's almost 18, he's like 17 years old, ish in Riggel's story, and Riggel's story plays in between Hiveswap and Homestuck area, like, more or less exactly in between. More or less. And yeah, basically Tlaloc is a really brutal guy who actually has a huge farm where that's a fun headcanon. I don't actually see this as like my version of canon, like what I would think or could be canon, but it's just my headcanon as a fun little side thing, that he has a huge Fago farm, basically, where he grows the berries or whatever it is that is made into Fago. And he waters his farm with the blood of trolls. Quite literally, he massacres, like, he always kills them himself because he's pretty stern about that. He wants to do that, and his hive is formed like a huge Aztecan, like that one Maya culture thing, South American Aztecs. Like one of those huge temples with huge stairs coming down, and you see the rainbow coming down those stairs. And yeah, basically he waters his entire farm with the blood of other trolls, and he collects the skulls of a lot of trolls that have a specific special meaning for him, and makes a throne out of them, and that is his kismises. All of the kismises he ever had, he was like, okay, if we can fight an honest fight, like a full-out fight, and I'm not able to kill you, you are worth being my kismises. That's like his thinking behind it. So he does that, and many trolls were not able to succeed. But he does not entirely obey or like the Hemospectrum. It comes in pretty handy sometimes for things he wants to do, but he actually doesn't give a shit, to be honest. He views basically every troll more or less the same that isn't a purple blood. And yeah, that is like his viewpoint. And Riggel, yeah, Riggel is basically a hunter, and he's a rebel. He fights the enforcement of the Hemospectrums, kind of like the rebels in Hiveswap do, in some way or another. It depends how Hiveswap ends, so that I can play Riggel out correctly. I mean, Hiveswap may actually end in the Hemospectrum being like a thing of the past, but I'm not entirely sure about that. I really don't think so. But it still kind of seems that way. That it could go that direction. And then I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with Riggel. Yeah, so Riggel's a rebel. Riggel, that's why he wears all red. That's like one of the main reasons. And he's probably a DoaA streamer from how his character is. Because he's really rebellious, basically, and that's what one of the main aspects of DoaA streamers. Did I say Prosper? I meant DoaAs. And the relationship is between those two is rivals. Like, not kiss me sis level rivals, but actually, like, ToaA wants to get revenge on Riggel for losing his Moira, as you have seen in the animation. And Riggel dislikes any kind of high blood. He actually dislikes some of his own blood caste. Or his former colleagues and stuff like that. And he... how do I put it? He hates ToaA with a passion, but platonic hate, like the hate humans feel. And it's... yeah, he dislikes him. He wants to have him out of his life forever. And... yeah, ToaA is also really religious, but he kind of takes his own take on it, and and he is ToaA thinks that he is one of the few Purple Bloods who are worth becoming the next Grand High Blood, and that is what he is aspiring to. And also a little bit of actually he wants to rule without the Condescent, the Seed Dwarves involving. Like, that is his more or less agenda. And he does have the interest to form bonds with the lower blood, like more religions, as we have seen with the Jade Blood Merope League. But he's really holding back. He, for example, does not think that mate spiritism is something worthwhile because he thinks those feelings are weak. So yeah, yeah. Basically, that also ToaA is more or less some of a loner. He does not really care much for interaction with the other trolls. And yeah, besides all of that, that is basically what I wanted to tell you, just to make sure, okay, this is how they are, this is how they be, and ToaA uses the Chuckle Voodoos only to, like, only rarely, but if he does, he really means business. And uses them to impress, or, well, not impress, but to show his dominance, let's put it that way, in cases where he thinks, well, it is better to keep those alive, or use them in some way or another. Anyway, yeah, that's basically what I want to tell you about those two. And it's really, really interesting that a gender bent and dream moon bent version of my two characters kinda did appear in the troll call. At least from, like, the first glimpse, how it seems. And Riggel, some things will happen to Riggel that make him more, make both of them, or some things will happen to both of them that make them maybe have some more in common things. But because I want to at least wait until the Hiveswap friendsm is completely out and completely done, if not even longer. Not only because I want to wait up all the canon information, but also because we currently have problems to find an animator who is dedicated enough to help us out. And I want to do my very best in order to deliver you guys Riggel's story. So we will just have to wait until better terms pop up, basically. So if you have any kind of questions and any kind of ideas, questions, and well, want to send us asks, or maybe even you are interested to help us out as an animator or what, anything, actually, comment in the comment section below, and or send us an ask over to our Tumblr, and we will see how fast we can answer about that and everything. I, anyway, sincerely love all of you guys, and we'll see each other in the next video. Cheerio!